It don't make me no less Hall of Fame because you slumbered. I've been dumping this way since K had that 91 Sunbird. Still it's the GOAT that only some heard. I cured peyote cookie, made your lungs burn.
Yo, so it's your boy Scandoosh, the hip hop original. And yeah, I want to welcome you to season 2 of the head-to-head interviews. And we're kicking off episode 1 this season with like a legend, underground legend, MC, producer, veteran in the game, you know. Yeah, the one and only Bronze Nazareth, man. So yeah, welcome, brother. Good to see you.
What up? What up? Thank you, man. I'm glad to be here, man. Glad to be talking with you, man. You know, connoisseurs, man. That's what I like to talk to, man. People that know, you know, that hip hop, man. You know what I mean? So appreciate it,
Nice.
man. Absolutely.
Nice. So the first question, we're gonna jump right in, man. The first question we always ask in our interviews is, how did you find your way to hip hop, man? Where did the journey begin for you?
Oh man, it started early, man. I always say one of the first records I caught that really like caught my ear was the Fat Boys Are Back, man. I know that's put me back in the golden era, but it just caught my ear, you know, the sound of the music. I like poetry and shit when I was younger or whatever. So you know, putting the words in a rhythmic form, but rhyming and all that, it just caught my ear, man. And so like, you know, from there on, it was, you know what I mean, Houdini all the way up to NWA, Mobb Deep, of course, Wu-Tang. And you know, it just I caught it very early, very young. And it just always captivated my ear more so than probably any other form of music, man, because it related to me, you know what I mean? So yeah. young boy. Yeah.
Nice. So
yeah.
you grew up in Detroit, right? Or
I grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is about
Michigan.
2 hours outside of Detroit. And but I've been in Detroit since 2002. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
man. So
a little bit
who
of
would you
both,
say?
you know?
Nice. So who would you say were like your early influences growing up in Grand Rapids?
In G-Rap, I was all over the New York music, man. I was number one for me was I love Big Daddy Kane, man. You know what I mean? Big Daddy Kane had it all, you know what I'm saying? The rhymes, the wordplay, the stage performance. He really knew how to MC the crowd and shit. So Kane was my number one back then, you know what I mean? And my bro K7 was Rakim, so we used to go back and forth, but I always loved, you know, the God MC as well. So I think, you know, Big Daddy Kane really did it for me. And then, you know, Tupac was a big one of my favorites who kind of took me from being lyrical into feeling the bars, you know what I mean? Feeling what a nigga's writing and shit. So yeah, those two big ones, man. Kane and Tupac, absolutely, man.
Man, so you must have really appreciated that recent versus battle then, right?
Absolutely, man. You know what I mean? It was beautiful to see Kane just still got that energy, still got, you know, still got it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, he still got it. Like I loved even when he went over the trap beat and killed it. You know what I mean? That was crazy for me. So yeah, I love that shit, man. Beautiful work.
Man. So what came to you first? Was it the writing or was it the production?
It was writing, man. I was young, like middle school, teacher teaching, I'm in class writing. She calling on me, I'm like, huh? Yeah. So I always was into writing first, man. Like I said, I was real young into poetry, writing stories and all that. So it was the writing for me that was big. And you know, at some juncture, you want to have your writing, when you're writing bars and lyrics, you want to have that on a beat. So that's when I started grabbing like people's instrumentals off the B-sides and the singles and rhyming over them. And then I got to the point where I was like, but yo, you know what? I need my own shit to rhyme on. So that led me into making beats, and you know what I mean? So it took the writing to get me into the beats, you know what I mean? Writing was first though, absolutely.
So when you first started making beats, was it really more outboard stuff, or was you straight into the software?
I started straight into software at first, man. It was this old program called Voyetra, and it was just like, it was basically copy and paste audio. So I figured out how to time out the hi-hats, and then I put the snares where they're supposed to be in the kicks, and then I just started cutting samples before I really even knew what I mean, I knew what sampling was, but I didn't really know I was sampling. I was like, let me take a piece from over here. And so that just led me into chopping sounds. And then one of my big homies, D the Rebel, shout out Reb, he transferred my shit from there onto the ASR 10. So that's when I started working on the ASR 10 and really dug into making beats and adding the bass lines and all that good stuff. So yeah, kind of both, man. I really early I was on the software and then moved over to the board, you know what I mean?
Nice, man.
Now it's whatever now, machine, jump in the box, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we spoke about your early influences in terms of MCing. Who would you say inspired you in terms of production?
Production, I kind of was inspired by composers like Isaac Hayes. It was amazing to me how he put so many different, the guitar, the bass line, the strings. Isaac Hayes, Barry White, man, big time. Curtis Mayfield. So I was always intrigued by the composers of music who put the different instruments together. And so when I translated that shit into hip hop, for me, being a composer is putting different samples together and then laying my own piano on top and then making my own bass line. So as far as producers, I take it back to the soul days when it was real strings and real guitars, and you had like the high rhythm band and down south. And so but as far as hip hop producers, of course, big fan of seeing them as composers, like Prince Paul, obviously the RZA, a big fan, Fourth Disciple, and that's my bro too. Ghetto Boys, man, they had their producers, man. I used to be amazed by the beats they had. Beto and them, they was like really back in the day using Curtis Mayfield loops and shit that you could kind of call a Wu-Tang type of beat back then. So they was one of my favorites back then. So of course Primo, you know what I mean? Gotta who can't put Primo on the list? It's so many, man. Mad Lib, I could go on and on, man. There's a lot of dudes I really respect and that got high quality compositions, you know what I mean?
Man. So transitioning from obviously as a just having an interest in making music, at what point did you get to the stage where you was like, you know what, I can take this on at a professional level?
I think it was like 98. Me and my brother had been working on this album called The Unknown. It got reissued in like 2007, but we first put it out in like 98. And that was just like our first foray into like really selling music, because we was early. We had a website back then, and we was just taking addresses and sending the album out to Japan or whatever. We had snippets on the site. And so this was late 90s, and that shit, we was doing it. We had our album out, we finished it, now we in the studio and stuff like that. But it wasn't no deals or nothing like that. But this is what led my discovery, the discovery of me by Silver Rings, who was the first European Killer Bee signed by RZA. And so he found my website somehow and found the beats, and then was like, yo, after a few months, he was like, yo, I got to get you to RZA. So it was just kind of unfurled like a snowball, you know what I mean? And built up, and boom, I was there, you know what I mean? So
that's amazing, man. So before we get into obviously you meeting the RZA, what would you say was the origin of your name, Bronze Nazareth? And was it your first name, or is it an evolution to get there?
Man, I had a whole bunch of names, man. We like coming up as a rapper, you do this to switch your name. But I was when we had the Unknown album out, I was half entity, because it's like half man, half spirit. Like, I was on that angle. But it was Silver Rings who kind of was telling me, you should change it up. And I was open to it because I was kind of getting into the Wu grind and all that. And so they wanted to call me Nazareth, which I thought was cool. It was all right, because the struggle of the prophet Jesus and everything. But I was also getting into the Wu-Tang the Kung Fu flicks. And I saw the 18 Bronze Men, and that movie, that shit kind of blew me away, how they had to fight their way to get out of the temple and just live a regular life, but they had to master everything first. And so, you know, I was like, that's, you know, that was like akin to me coming up and finding myself and figuring out what I wanted to do and getting my passionate feelings about music actually to make music. So, you know, it was a struggle, man. We didn't have money to get equipment when we was young. So, you know, it was like I used to put 2 stereos together and record the drums off of that one and the music, you know what I mean? Just trying anything to get a beat. So that's kind of what I related my journey to. The 18 Bronzemen. So I became Bronze Nazareth, you know what I mean?
Man. And just that technique alone, man, is something that a lot of these young producers will never understand. They will never get that. You know, and for me, just starting out like that already adds an extra element to the sound of your production. You know, so it's definitely a beautiful thing, man. And so what was it like for you? The experience first meeting the RZA and hearing his feedback on your music.
I mean, it was crazy too. Like I said, the last thing kind of came together like a snowball. So when I got to 36 Chambers and he was supposed to be coming through later. And so Ninth Prince took me upstairs because I showed him some beats outside. And he was like, come on up, bro. That's hot. Come up. And we, you know, I don't think they had a producer in there right at the moment. So he was like, throw some beats on. So I was like, bet, that's my way in. Boom, I'm in. But then that was at like 2 p.m. So here it is, like 2, 3 in the morning.
Wow.
And still nothing. Still nothing. Now I'm over here breaking beats down, which is cool because I like, you know, he might hear it. You know, I don't think he's coming. But then I think about 2:30, 3, RZA, Jizza, Master Killer popped in through the elevator. So I was like, oh shit, here we go. All right. So they was, you know, running around handling business, talking to people. I didn't want to, you know, be the jumpy guy and jump up in the mix like, hey. So, you know what I'm saying? I gave it a minute or whatever. Then I heard them talking about, all right, we about to be out when they was about to go to the club. So I was like, no, I can't let them slip out without saying nothing. Now I gotta say something now. And so yeah, I stood up, I walked over to RZA, you know, tapped him, and you know, I was like, yo, bro, before you leave, man, could I just get like 5 minutes? And so he looked at me, he looked at the door, and he was like, all right, you got 5 minutes. And so I hit him with this. We went back in the booth and I played this song called Blowgun that I did for him. And I did the beat and then, you know, I did all the bars and shit. And I wanted to get on, you know, Wu-Tang or Razor Sharp or whatever as an MC. And so he put them on, he started nodding his head, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, that's good. So he takes the joints off and he's like, all right, who made the beat? And I'm like, I did. And so RZA was like, yo, all right, I got enough MCs, he said, but I definitely want you to join the Wu Elements. So,
nice.
You know, like from there, it was history because like the way I flipped the beat, I played with the channel. So I took like just the strings out of one side and just the horns, and I was playing with it during the song. And so I think that's part of what impressed him about the beat. And so, you know, he knew I was doing a little something with the beats too. And so, from that point, it was I came through the next day. We went through some of the business points and hit me with the paperwork and history, man. You know?
That's incredible, man. So in terms of having someone like RZA, would you say as a mentor?
Yeah.
Would you say as a mentor? Yeah. How would you say that influenced your style of production over the years?
I think it ushered me a little bit, you know, being from the Midwest. I think it ushered me a little bit more into the East Coast sound, which I kind of already had. I might have been a little more cinematic, but I think it molded a little bit more towards the East Coast sound because that was the sound and the rhythm I was dealing with. So, you know, I had to go in that chamber. So, I think it molded a little bit more East Coastish, if you will. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man. That's dope. So a lot of people consider your debut album, was it The Great Migration, as a classic, man. So I mean, tell us a little bit about the process of creating your first full body of work.
Oh man, Great Migration. That was man, what a time. That was early. I think I just moved to Detroit. And we had it was me, my brother Kevlar 7, and Apollo Brown.
Mm.
And you know, we was looking for a house to rent. And so the first house we was at, we was like, all right, man, this is cool. We was, you know, we was like, we're gonna build a studio in the basement and get busy. So first house we went to, we was like, bet, you know, what's the rent? Why the rent so good? Whatever. And so the dude was like, well, I gotta tell you that they found a prostitute with her head cut off in the backyard. So we was like, we good on this house, man. Like, we was like, wow, that's the real shit. Like, so, you know, you gotta be careful where you move in Detroit. But, you know, we found a house off of an infamous road called Joy Road. The house was on Ward Street. And so we got the house. So it was me, Kev, and Apollo Brown. We in the crib making beats. Eventually we built the booth in the basement, and that's where I recorded Great Migration. Wrote, recorded, you know what I mean? I made all the beats down there. So, you know, West Detroit, you know, grimy nights, a lot of smoke. I'm not a big drinker, but a little bit of drinking. Kevin, them, it was all the Wisemen kind of around. Me, Philly, Kevlar, Salute the Kid, June Mega, you know, Illa Days. Everybody was just huddled in the basement, just cranking out, man. And so I put all those joints together down there. And then Baby Grand signed me after Wu-Tang Meets the Indie Culture. Baby Grand signed me as a solo artist because of the success of Indie Culture album. And boom, I gave him that Great Migration that was grinded out in the West Detroit basement. You know what I mean?
Amazing, man. That's incredible. And at that point, is that where like touring jumped off for you as well, and getting to see the rest of America and the world?
Yeah, man. That's, you know, that's where I had a bunch of tours or shows that started picking up. You know, a lot of one-offs, not no big major tours or anything, but that's kind of where it started up. And then, you know, from that point on, it was pretty steady. And then we came with the Wisemen album. So
nice.
Kept the fire burning, you know what I mean?
That's incredible, man. And so you then went on to do some collaborative projects as well, like with like the likes of Willie the Kid, Cannabis, King Crooked. And what was the experience like of meeting some of these legendary MCs?
Oh man, you know, it's always amazing to meet, you know, legends, people you look up to, and you know, colleagues that are on the same level. So I mean, but everybody's got different personalities, so every artist is different, but I'm pretty laid back. I'm real easy to work with. So every time I work with somebody, man, it's been real smooth, man. Me and Willie, we get along real well, real smooth. He come through, you know, tap stuff out. I might shoot the G-Rap sometimes, or he just do his thing down south. But it's always a smooth process, man. And what I try to do is bring the best of the artists that I could bring out of them as a producer. So you know, I never really have any issues. You know, I know how to talk to people, you know what I'm saying, and be respectful at the same time, as, you know, because hip hop is also, you know, dealing with a lot of personalities, man, and being able to compartmentalize who this person is and make sure this person's good over here, and know, oh, he don't like these drums, and you know what I mean. So I'm acutely aware of all those things. So I get along with people real well. So it's been a blessing to work with Cannabis, to see King Crooked's process was one of the most amazing things I've seen. Like, the album was recorded in like 2 days, like 10 hours, you know what I'm saying? 2 5-hour sessions.
Wow.
So that was crazy. That was crazy.
And that album was Gravitas, right?
Yeah, Gravitas.
Yeah. And a lot of people say that's his best solo.
Hey man, I love to hear it, man. No disrespect to his other projects, but I'm biased on that. But I'll run with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Because you also got a project with a UK artist by the name of Leaf Dog. So how did that collaboration come together?
Oh man, just like kind of a mutual respect thing, man. I don't know when, but we've been, you know, in contact, you know, emailing back and forth. He's sending me beats, I'm sending him beats, you know. just a big respect there, man. Their grind is crazy. Him and the rest of the Owls. Shout out to my bro BVA. They just nasty with it, and their bars are crazy. Flow is sick. The quality level is crazy. So, you know, it was just at some point where he hit me with a batch, and I just was like, I think they came to one of my shows in London. They showed up and supported one of my shows out in London, and I was like, man, I'm finna go home and get busy on these beats and crank something out with him. And from there, it was boom, bundle raps came together, man, and fire, bro, fire.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm guessing that's not a one and done. We may get a sequel to that.
Oh no, man, them my guys, man. We're gonna be do plenty more, man. I got a bunch more beats from him as well. So you know, I'm hungry to cook some more with him and, you know, get him on a bunch of mine as well, and, you know, just keep building, man. Them my bros over there. So, you know, we're gonna keep trucking. Indeed.
So someone that's considered like one of the legends of the new wave of underground hip hop is Rock Marciano. And obviously you've done a fire project with Rock Marciano. So how did you two come together?
Oh man, you know, it was just kind of me jumping up and making a move real quick. We've been, you know, colleagues for a long time, bumping into each other here and there. As you know, he did the Think Differently joint and just shredded my shit, you know, killed that beat back in 05. So, you know, ever since then, like we had him on the Living Daylights project with Willie, you know, so we just been bumping around. Rock was the A&R at Man Bites Dog Records for a stint while I was there as an artist. So, you know, I think we ended up doing a couple South by Southwest shows or A3C together. So we always just been, you know, in the orbit, and obviously our styles kind of in the same ballpark as far as, you know, what we come with, quality level and all that. He more New York, I'm a little more Midwest, you know, obviously, but same ballpark. So I just have been enjoying his latest projects a lot. Beats crazy, rhymes crazy. The Stove God album crazy. So I was like, you know what, let me see what it looked like to get a few beats from Rock. You know what I mean? Let me hit him up. And so, you know, I hit him up, figured things out, and, you know, boom, went from there. And, you know, next thing you know, I got work from an absolute legend, man. And that shit just made my pen go to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, listening to that over the last few days, man, really loving that project. Strong, you know. And what would you tell us about the concept behind the name? Am I pronouncing it correctly? Is it Ekphrasis? Ekphrasis, right.
Ekphrasis. So yeah, you know, I'm a man of many words. I love words. You know, as a writer, if I see some word that looks shiny or interesting to me, I'll make a move on it, see what it sounds like, whatever. So at some point, I was watching the show or something, and that word came up, and they had it on the screen. So it just kind of struck me, like, I'm like, what the fuck is that, man? I never heard of this I never heard this word. And I love words, you know what I mean? So I was like, let me look this shit up. So I Googled it or whatever, and then I found out it was crazy. It had to do with being able to describe or graphically or vividly talk about or write artistically about a piece of work, a piece of art, an experience, you know, anything that you can write so vividly that it's almost as good as actually being there by reading the shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you could write about an event that happened and you write it so beautiful, so graphic, so detailed that you even feel like you was right there. It was even better than being right there the way they wrote it. And so that's what I felt like, you know, when I'm writing, I always try to be a vivid writer. I try to make you see the shit that I'm actually saying. And to me, that shit like really hit the nail on the head as far as what I felt my writing is in the box of. So to me, it was a shiny new word. And also, you know, everybody got the same album titles, this, that, and the other. I was like, I always like to stand out. You know what I'm saying? This is art. Let's do something different. You know what I mean? So I said, let's run with that because it means something to me. You know what I mean? So that was it, man.
And Fat Beats picked up the album, right? Or
well, Fat Beats it's on my label, Black Day in July Productions, but Fat Beats is the distributor, you know, for like they're doing the cassettes, the vinyl, the CD or whatever. And so, you know what I mean? So that's how we ran that, man. But definitely, man, them my peoples over there, they've definitely helped make this a big success and shit. You know what I mean?
Right. So what made you decide to go out and form your own imprint, like in terms of your own label?
You know what I mean? I was just ready to start grooming my people. You know what I mean? I got a lot of artists I know, a lot of people that are, you know, passionate with the craft and that can do beautiful work. So, you know, why not give them an outlet as well? So by having my label, I see how the other labels run it. You know, I'm picking up tips on how they do it and what moves they're making so I can improve for my people. So, you know, it's just a way to, you know, have my platform and also have a you know, a hand up the ladder for my people that's behind me and trying to come up as well and I want everybody to succeed and be on the level I'm on as well. So that's kind of a conduit to get to that. You know what I mean?
Nice, man. So how would you describe your process in terms, because obviously you're balancing two worlds with the production and the MCing. Is that something, do you have to do one at a time or do they sit side by side for you?
You know, it depends, man. I might have a beat that I just made and I'm feeling it so much I start writing right away. Other times I just got a bunch of joints in the stash that I might just go to that I've been loving and let me write something to this beat. Let me knock this one out because I've been meaning to make this, or you know, just anything like that. I might catch a feeling and think about a certain beat that I've been wanting to jump on. So but it's all directed by my mood, you know what I'm saying, how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling fiery, I might make a hype or angry joint, you know what I mean? If I'm feeling a little low, I might make an introspective, thoughtful joint, you know what I mean? So like I say, it's all designed by my mood, you know what I mean?
Man, real talk, man. So how did the pandemic like affect your process? Like obviously living out in Detroit last year, if it did at all.
A little bit, man. It kind of stuck me down in the studio, you know what I mean? So instead of jumping out on tours or, you know, being gone for this weekend, that weekend, you know what I mean, doing shows, I was planted in the basement. So this was when I was knocking out the fucking bundle raps, knocking out Season2 with Rec Ali. You know, I wrote Ekphrasis in July and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I just was playing it down and grinding away, you know what I mean? That's what it helped me with. Kind of sat me down and made me focus on getting that shit out the booth, you know what I mean?
That's dope. So you mentioned the project Season2 with Recognize Ali. Has that officially been released yet, or?
Oh yeah. That came out in April. That came out in April. So definitely go jump on that. Throw that in your ears, man. You're gonna love that joint as well, man. Big quality, man. Shout out to Rec, man, and Mellow Music.
Dope. And did you mention you've got a 6th album out called If You're Worried, You Should Be?
Yeah, that's it's not out yet, but that's it's done. I got it. I'm ready to throw it out, but I gotta let this Ekphrasis breathe for a minute, and you know, 2022 early, I'm gonna be on y'all again with another one. You know what I mean? And that's all my beats. You know what I mean? My beats, my rhymes. So
that's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's incredible, man. So currently you're promoting the single Crazy Horse, right?
Crazy Horse, yeah, that's on the burner right now, but I'm also about to what we got? 10 days and 10 days I'm gonna give y'all that Survivor's Vow video, man. I think it's amazing video, man. Shot by Arc Cinema out here in Detroit, and as you know, that's one of the songs. That's my favorite joint on the album. And in the song, I'm basically R.I.P. my bro Kevlar 7. I'm talking to his urn and I'm talking to his ashes in the song and telling him, man, I'm gonna live it up twice as good because you died, my bro. So that's what that song is about, man. And the video's sick, man. I can't wait on the 27th. You know what I mean? That's dropping. So
yeah, because I noticed you've got your brother featured on one of the tracks as well, right?
Yeah. He does a little. He talks to the people for a minute. Absolutely. I try to put Kev on every track 7. when I put a project out, man. Keep his memory alive. You know what I mean?
That's amazing, man. That's beautiful, man.
Thank
So
you.
at this stage in your career, you know, I mean, because the stuff that we're hearing right now is just as powerful and in some respects even stronger than some of your earlier work, man. So what is it that motivates you and drives you to still be producing at such a high level?
Man, I don't know, man. I just it's just in me, man. I love music. It's my passion. You know, so at this point, I ain't punched the clock since 2007, man, officially. So I've been in the music game, you know, and eating my food every year off this shit. So it's my career now. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's been my career, but I see this as my career, man. I wake up and I gotta do 8 hours. I gotta do 8 hours doing something. I gotta put in 40 hours a week on this shit. If I'm really gonna call this shit my career. So but other than that, the creativeness, man, I don't even know where it came from. I just feel blessed that I can get it out. And I just have a mind that I'm tedious about it. I'm going over it. I'm breaking it down. I'm making sure I got rhymes inside of rhymes instead of just rhyming the last word. You know what I mean? So it's work, bro. I put my work into it. I pay my dues and I eat. You know what I mean? That's what keeps me going. You know.
For real, man. So what would you say is like the Bronze Nazareth legacy, man? What would you say is like your stamp on the hip hop culture?
Man, I think I'm a comet they didn't see coming. You know what I'm saying? I started out when I started out, they didn't want to sign me, man. I got the solo deal because Wu-Tang indie culture did good, and then it was like, all right. So then I hit the solo album, and you know the people call it a classic. It's a classic. They say it's a classic. So
yeah.
After that, you know, it's you know, deal after deal. So I don't know. Nobody expected me to do it. Nobody expected this level of music, I think, to come out of this region. Nobody expected a real Detroit Wu-Tang, real mixture. And then on top of it, you know what I'm saying, it's genuine and it's authentic. So I think it's a genuine, authentic voice that there was really nobody in that space for as far as Detroit, East Coast with the Wu-Tang twist. And these really, really hard but introspective but beautiful beats. So I think my legacy is to be that, you know, yeah, I think I started under the Wu-Tang. But he was a guy that came out and I carved my own path and made my own whole side of shit so that, you know, once you start with crutches, I ain't saying Wu-Tang was a crutch, but they definitely opened the door for me. But someday you got to heal that ankle or that knee and walk on your own. And I believe I've achieved that, you know what I'm saying? Musically, you know, on my own. So I think I'm a guy that did it right. Authentically, I did it right. I put in the work, I paid the dues, and you know, God willing, I keep getting the rewards, you know what I mean?
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. And for my final question, I want to ask you, man, in terms of we spoke about the single, we spoke about the upcoming video that you've got. You said there's an album coming next year. But in terms of your targets, man, is there still things that you want to accomplish in this hip hop before you call it a day?
Yeah, man, definitely, man. It's a lot of things, man. Like I think no matter what you do, call yourself underground, call yourself independent, whatever. Like every artist wants a Grammy for his real work. You know what I'm saying? Every artist wants to be album of the year for his real work. Every artist want to get that gold, platinum. You know what I mean? So I definitely would like to reach more people, reach a bigger audience. I want what I'm doing now to get heard by more people and the knowledge on the level it is by more people. And you know, I think that's the goal, man, to keep it spreading and you keep hitting the tree with that axe, with the quality axe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna chop it down, you know.
Man.
Time
And And is there anyone on that like that wish list in terms of producers or MCs that you still really want to work with?
Man, absolutely, man. Like I'm, not that I have any leads or nothing, but I'd love to do an album over Mad Lib beats. I would love to produce for, Jay, you know what I mean? I'd love to make a beat for Rakim. I'd love to do something for Kane, you know what I mean? I'd love to do something for somebody like Trippie Redd, who I think is spit, you know what I mean? So I'm all over the place, man. I see talent as where talent is, you know what I mean? So yeah, I like to mix it up and just keep making very high level music, you know what I mean? Quality.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible. Bronze, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out, man, to talk with us today. And yeah, we're going to keep supporting the new single that's out right now and the album, which is incredible. And yeah, but I definitely want to wish you the best going forward as well, and yeah, look forward to catching up with you again sometime down the road as well, my brother.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate everything, man. Make sure y'all mess with the connoisseurs, man, of hip hop. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, man.
Brother. Appreciate the opportunity, man. And anything you need, man, give me a shout, bro.
I will do. Most definitely. Much love, man. Peace.
Much love, brother. Peace.
Don't make me no less Hall of Fame because you slumbered. I've been dumping this way since K had that 91 Sunbird. Still it's the GOAT that only some heard. I cured peyote cookie, made your lungs burn. I hung stop sign jewelry on my brother's urn. Consider putting a